Alright, so it was this knife. And, I think I didn't... I hit pause, and then I hit the camera picture, so it started over. I don't know if I know how to merge videos. Oh, I might just do 2 videos. Okay, so there was this knife, and it's a really dull knife. Like, it's not even... There's barely any, like, prick to it. Just like, yeah. And usually, you know, just I cut things with it. It's totally fine. Like, I always have had this weird fascination with knives, especially. But stop making noises. I walked over to the kitchen that night. Well, first of all, I was really scared of the dark. I turned off the lights, and it was horrifying, and I felt very trapped inside my own body. It was like, oh my god, I exist, and it was scary again that I exist, and so I felt like there were demons or something talking on the wall, and I felt like another presence was there than myself. That was scary. It's really never happened before. So maybe that actually is a concoction of poor mental or physical health manifesting in the head. So then I got up and I went to the kitchen. I was like, oh hey, there is this knife. And it was the most beautiful knife I'd ever seen. It's a sharp little blade, and I was scared and drawn to it at the same time. And so picked it up, first of all. I got really more scared, but also more happy and intensified on what it could do. And so I put it to my neck, and right now it does nothing. It's like, oh, it's there. Then it was just automatic imagining of it plunging into my neck, and then I put it to my heart, and it felt even better. It felt like erotic desire just manifesting into this knife at the thought of death. And I mean, what is that? It's not... My life is fine. I mean, I've got stuff going for it. There's always difficulty and stuff like that, but it's okay. And so, why would it do that? That's absolutely mental. But I got really happy at the idea, and if you're happy at the idea of dying, something is telling you to die. It just is. So I think that the body was actually telling me to plunge it in because of how happy I was. And I wrote about it. I'll even link it maybe somewhere up there. I've seen YouTubers do that, so I'll try. And that was the most interesting kind of discovery on it. Other than that, there have been a lot of random interesting discoveries. Vegetarian is not as scary and horrible as I thought. At first my body couldn't adapt to accepting vegetables as its energy source. It's like, you need actual food. And so it like freaked out and made me hungry all the time. And then that was okay. Being on just kind of processed, if I'll just like have Pop-Tarts, I'll be fine. And then after that I'll want to go in reclusion. I do think social anxiety is a huge part of it. Like, oh, let me go off and be alone, because of my whole theory that it's the opposite of sexuality, because whenever I was depressed or unhappy, there was no desire for sex or people at all. I really just wanted to be alone in a little cave, but even that wasn't fun. You know, you want to not be on this planet. Evolution, possibly. And so then, whenever I'm like eating healthy, and like I just had like eggs and broccoli and put cheese on top of it, and I did like gram masala and bitters, which is, I really like bitters. It's weird. It doesn't go with the eggs, it goes with broccoli, as I just recently discovered with my mouth. And so then I'll feel fine and want to go see people and plan things and just automatically do it. I mean, thoughts are always whirling and creative, but it all seems true. It's hard to prove unless you know inside me. And so I'm trying to figure out a way to seclude outside factors of humanity, of like thoughts and things that I do from the food itself. And I'm thinking that as a person that can be in control of themselves, I could actually plan out my thoughts and the music that I listen to be the same for a week based on the food, and then like I'll do baseline data first of just eating good food with unaccounted variables all the time, like just think as usual, listen to whatever comes on the radio, and then I'll do a week of actual controlled thoughts and variables with good food, and then use those same controlled thoughts and variables with negative food and see if that can do anything. I'm quite excited about it. Other than that, the data's kind of supporting I get bloated from fast food and kind of processed stuff, but not being in ketosis is kind of still hard a little bit. Just tiny little bit. but not as hard as I thought it would be. Sugar causes the most kind of direct mental triggering. I don't know at what point your mind is utilizing the food that you're having, like sugar or carbs or fats, but I think the mind utilizes sugar like the fastest. Like I'll go from being happy to having too much sugar to being unhappy pretty directly. Carbs seem to take a little while longer. Like I'll have a potato and maybe like some Cheez-Its, which that might be processed. That might be the problem there. Is I need to also figure out, is it processed or is it like too many carbs or sugar? There's so many variables that I'll try and figure them out. But that's kind of where the study is so far.